I've prepared a truly special talk for you, and I hope you find it enjoyable. We're going to discuss some tips for achieving professional success, for straightforward yet incredibly valuable tips, genuine concern, strategies for success, mature leadership, and healthy goals. I think you will have something to learn from this chat. Shall we? Come take a look. I understand the market is flooded with advice, and the internet is overwhelming. However, we're presenting philosophical insights similar to market tips. I believe these tips will be useful. I am confident. I will discuss 4 points: concern, success strategies, leadership, and goals. This perspective can truly benefit you. So I really believe these tips will be very useful for you. I'm sure of it. Shall we? I'm going to discuss 4 key points: genuine concern, strategies for success, mature leadership, and healthy goals. Sounds intriguing, right? This unique perspective on these topics is something I believe can truly assist you. Let's kick things off by discussing genuine concern. At first, you might find this a bit odd. Genuine concern. What do you mean by that? Genuine refers to something that's authentic. Concern, as it stands, doesn't feel genuine anymore because it often leads to anxiety and can be harmful to us. So, how can concern be considered genuine? You're approaching the concept of concern from a rather mundane and conventional perspective. The word concern means to occupy yourself in advance. What should I do now about something happening in a year or 6 months? Intelligently spreading goals makes big ones achievable. Essentially, what actions should I take now regarding something that's set to happen in a year or in 6 months? How can I effectively distribute my goals over time? In a way that even a daunting goal, when spread out over time thoughtfully, can become entirely achievable. That's what planning's all about. That's right, it's all about planning, but approached from a different angle. To become effective planners who seize life's opportunities, start by planning your own life. Cultivate the habit of preparing in advance, structuring your life around steps to achieve your purpose. This makes you imaginative and alert, creating tangible. If you cultivate the habit of preparing and structuring your life around steps to achieve your goals, you develop an active imagination. You become alert and have a planning ability, creating outcomes and opportunities, not just spreading goals over time. And then you become a planner, exceptional, balancing your efforts to stay in motion, ensuring things unfold right and best. Typically, we have about 10 years to prepare for something. That's a lot of time. Don't wait until 3 years are left to act. Planning over a decade leads to excellence. And then you become a planner, an exceptional individual, because you understand how to manage the balance of pacing your efforts over time, ensuring that you're always in motion, making things happen at the right moment and in the best possible way. Typically, we have about 10 years to prepare for something. That's quite a stretch of time. I wouldn't wait until only 3 years are left to take action. Well, when something is planned over a decade, it tends to reach a level of excellence. It achieves such a meticulous degree of development that something planned in just 3 years can hardly compare. Well, something planned over 10 years is going to reach a level of perfection. It'll reach such a meticulous level of development that something planned in just 3 years can hardly be achieved. We can and should spread things out over time so that opportunities and ideas come up and we can get closer and closer to that ideal we're looking for in everything. If we are idealists and want to find the ideal in our own lives, it's obvious that we also want to find the ideal in everything that comes our way. In other words, I'm committed to executing this project in the best possible way. I'm determined to reach this goal. Preoccupation is true preparation, involving planning and executing steps. It's a prior engagement cultivated with focus, intelligence, and thoughtful organization. Everything starts as an idea. In other words, it's a prior engagement that you cultivate over time with focus, intelligence, and a thoughtful distribution and organization of your goals. Everything begins as an idea. Remember how Plato discussed the concept that everything originates from the realm of ideas. Everything begins as an idea. Plato said all originates from ideas, objects. Anything you see in the world, a chair, a table, first existed in the mental plan of the carpenter who created it. Ideas give birth to things. Whether human ideas or divine ideas, everything goes through the mind before coming into the world, as the Kybalion and the Egyptians say in the principle of mentalism. Everything must pass through the mind to manifest. So we begin to translate our thoughts into tangible actions in a gradual, intelligent, and carefully considered manner. In other words, everything starts as an idea, and as soon as it starts as an idea, it already generates a preliminary action. At that point, there's already an action to take. A planned and staggered preliminary action ensures that things unfold at the right moment. Often, we approach these aspirations with a somewhat naive mindset. I typically use the example of a young person who dreams of becoming as skilled a draftsman as Leonardo da Vinci once was. When they share this ambition with you, you can't help but think, wow, that's quite an ambitious goal, isn't it? Commit, and amazing things can happen. One day, there could be someone who surpasses Leonardo da Vinci. Perhaps it is you. You lose contact with this young person and don't see them for 5 years. 5 years later, you ask, so, what's the story? Still pursuing your dream, or did you throw in the towel? No, of course I haven't given up. He's dedicated. So, what are you up to? Are you constantly studying drawing? No, why would I be? What do you mean, why? Don't you want to draw like Leonardo da Vinci, or even surpass him? Yes, but for that to happen, I just need some inspiration to strike. Once a woman who resembles the Mona Lisa appears, then I'll feel inspired and start drawing. It's clear that this guy is lost in a big fantasy. A perfect replica of the Mona Lisa could appear, but he lacks the technique. He doesn't have what it takes to capitalize on that opportunity. Don't assume it's merely about luck or chance. Opportunities arise, so stay alert. Be ready as they come when we anticipate and are prepared. But we must be ready to embrace opportunities. They show up when we're both anticipating and prepared to embrace them. Because if we're not paying attention, they slip by unnoticed. We often lack what's needed to seize life's opportunities. Thinking about it sparks immediate action, and I plan another shortly. Thinking about it sparks immediate action. Another action is planned shortly, and the path unfolds, leading you to your goal. And there's another step I'm planning to take shortly. In other words, that path emerges and unfolds before you, guiding you until you reach your goal. Then there are those pesky spreadsheets that break everything down over time, in stages, and by different aspects. Everyone seems to have that figured out. But they aren't always the most inspired planners. An inspired planner is always present and has a clear vision. He's always present with a clear vision, deeply immersed yet never losing sight of his goal. He notices any shift hinting at an opportunity to achieve it. He's in the moment, yet his goal is clear. Anything shifting, hinting at a chance, he catches it. Sometimes it's subtle. So, anything that shifts in the scene around him, signaling an opportunity to achieve his ultimate goal, he won't overlook it. Sometimes it's something subtle. I get it. Sometimes people start a business after chatting on a plane with someone who shares a project idea. It sparks an idea in them. What an amazing project. And that person shared details about a project they were working on, and just like that, it ignited an idea in them. What an incredible project. And they join forces with that person, swap contact information, and begin collaborating because that individual had a vision to accomplish something significant. He spots opportunities because of his clear vision. Without this, they slip away. Someone might share a golden idea and you could miss it. Always keep your destination and purpose in mind, because opportunities simply slip away. The person next to you may share something valuable, and tuning out could mean missing something great. So, it has to be someone who, above all, always keeps their destination in mind throughout this journey. And that intuition, that sensitivity to even notice a bird flying by, allows me to see hints, information, and lessons in everything that guide me toward where I need to go. Numerous scientists find solutions in nature. That is observing how the wind gently moves a tree or a bird gliding through the sky. Many scientists have come up with brilliant solutions by appreciating the world around them, the same world that's around us. And we can do that as well. Moving on. Genuine concern is natural and authentic, shaping your life. It's not anxiety or the worry we often face. It's a genuine, heartfelt concern. It's not anxiety. It's not related to the kind of worry we often experience these days. Feeling anxious or nervous. I don't believe that's the case. It's really just a habit of continually pushing yourself toward your life goals. If you're someone who excels at planning, you certainly don't limit your plans to just work. That would be a very narrow focus for you to practice. You have many aspects in life. Why not incorporate all of them into your planning? So, you're the kind of person who, at some point, envisions the last day of your life and reflects on the kind of person you aspire to be. What kind of person do you want to be when everything is said and done? What shortcomings do you wish to have conquered? What qualities do you want to cultivate? What kind of legacy do you want to leave in the world? You gaze at your masterpiece and concentrate on that. If you can jot it down, express your desire to reach that destination, and you shape your life around that. So, to evolve into that person, my masterpiece, the individual I aspire to be, what do I need to have achieved in the next 10 years? What opportunities should I seize? In various areas of life, what should I learn and develop? In different areas. In intellect and spirituality, I hope to learn and cultivate. Professionally, I aim to foster. In the professional field, creativity, I want to have paved the way, created paths, so that this work is done better in the future. In the social realm, I'm talking about relationships, the way we interact and connect with others in the world. In other words, within these goals, he needs to dissect his purpose and ideals so that he understands what actions to take today, keeping in mind the kind of person he aspires to be. I aspire to be a just and insightful person. Today, when I have the chance to share a meal at a family member's or friend's home, how can I strive to embody fairness and wisdom in that moment? So, we're looking at 4 key areas: professional, social, intellectual, and spiritual, each with at least 4 levels of focus. And when you consider your life in its entirety over the span of a decade, a year, ideally 5 years, this month and today, if you have that clarity, you're the kind of person who will weave together all the specific plans for your life. In my professional life, I weave together my career planning. In the intellectual realm, I weave it all together. The spiritual realm, I weave all. In the social realm, I weave it all. It's like having a massive spreadsheet of my life laid out before me. My goal is clear. So, I recognize opportunities in every aspect of my life. Whatever it is you're engaged in, check it out over there, an opportunity to improve how I connect with others. Check it out over there, an opportunity to cultivate a richer inner life. Check it out over there, an opportunity to unleash more creativity in my work. A person like that has cultivated the habit of staying connected. They are fully present in both body and mind at every moment. They observe the world around them and can interpret its messages because they are always attentive, always learning, and constantly seeking new ideas to help shape their life goals. He must be an exceptional planner. He's focused on all the essential aspects of his life. Everything he aspires to achieve in all 4 areas is progressing right now. Nothing is stagnant and nothing is being overlooked. Someone who adopts this habit and integrates it into their life will be the most creative. They gain insights and find inspiration. They are more likely to stay positively engaged and occupied. They are always developing some aspect of a project, personal or professional. They constantly make the most of life's raw materials. Always developing some stage of a project, something personal, something professional, whatever it may be. Always maximizing the resources that life provides you. Continuing on, that insincere worry is the kind of concern we all recognize. It's anxiety. It's the feeling of pulling your hair out. It's sweating bullets. It's those sleepless nights spent fretting over what might happen. You come to realize that this false worry, this trivial concern, is driven more by emotion than by rational thought. Essentially, it's just suffering. It's like you're exhausting yourself in advance. This buildup of anxiety can leave you feeling paralyzed when you finally confront the actual problem. It's like you're wearing yourself out before it happens. This kind of buildup creates anxiety, so when you face it, you might feel paralyzed. You're accumulating anxiety over time, and that becomes a barrier. You're building up this intense anxiety over time. That just creates obstacles. This type of worry will leave you ill-equipped when it comes time to pursue your goals. Because you've been stacking up a lot of negative emotions, and when the critical moment arrives, you just can't keep them in check. That creates obstacles. A healthy preoccupation is all about planning. It's rooted in reason. The false, unhealthy preoccupation is anxiety. It's a jumble of disordered emotions, a nagging feeling of inadequacy, and a whirlwind of thoughts that only serve to hinder you. It's a collection of emotions that can sabotage your efforts. So be careful to clearly distinguish between the two. The distinction between the healthy kind and the fake kind. This worry breeds anxiety and fear, but it doesn't help the future unfold. In other words, ultimately, it doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't help the future form. It achieves nothing. Genuine concern, A. It doesn't create the pathways for the future to begin unfolding. Genuine concern starts creating the pathways for the future to unfold. It's wise and essential. Engaging healthily means spreading tasks over time, letting you progress without feeling rushed or stagnant. So, it's not just wise, it's absolutely essential. Engaging healthily means spreading tasks over time, aiding progress without rush. Urgent tasks arise from neglect when you had the chance, due to irresponsibility. The things that end up feeling urgent, sure, unexpected events occur, but generally, it's the tasks you didn't tackle when you had the opportunity. It involves irresponsibility or inattention. Engaged people who handle tasks gradually don't feel overwhelmed. In other words, there was a level of irresponsibility, of inattention in that. Someone who stays engaged and manages their responsibilities gradually won't feel overwhelmed. They know they'll handle situations they prepared for. They're confident. He understands that he's going to encounter a situation, something he prepared for, whether it took 3 years, 5 years, or however long it took. He's more than confident. He didn't let stress overwhelm him. He's incredibly self-assured. He never let stress get the best of him. He hones his skills, anticipating events and addressing challenges promptly. Everything is organized. And if problems come up, they happen with enough time for him to deal with them. Things are well organized. It all flows smoothly. We never reach a point of feeling overwhelmed. Everything happens at pace, without rush or pause. Moving forward, let's discuss the clear paths to success. We all aspire to succeed and want our endeavors to flourish. We all strive for success in lives. We want the things we engage in to flourish. We aim to succeed. Every word that is spoken holds value. It's important to desire success in our endeavors, to wish for the things we pursue to come to fruition. But more and more, it's necessary for us to distinguish between the need for success, for healthy achievement, and the highly competitive and exclusive kind that doesn't include others, which is what society usually values. In other words, your success shouldn't rely on the misfortunes of others. For instance, if you think about the word prosper, it originates from pro and a species, which relates to hope. That's the foundation of the word hope. In other words, to prosper means to align yourself with your highest aspirations. And the greatest hopes a person can hold are centered around becoming a better human being. In other words, everything I do is focused on aligning myself with my aspirations for personal growth as a human being. I don't want success at any price. I don't want success that comes at the expense of others. I seek success that, ideally, brings others along with me. I often share this story in my classes. Picture this. You approach a coworker and say, "Hey, I ran a marathon and finished in first place." Then he might respond, "That's incredible. Congratulations. How many competitors were in this marathon?" You'd reply, "There were 1,000 competitors. What position did they finish in?" Everyone finished first. Everyone was a winner. Success lacks meaning if everyone wins. True success stands out above others. What kind of success is that? In other words, even if you achieved the same time, meaning the effort was equal, if everyone came out victorious, your success lacks any real substance. Why is that? Because for your success to truly resonate, it has to be rooted in the setbacks of 999 others. You have to be up on a podium, standing above everyone else. You can't win together. You have to stand on a podium above everyone else. You can't achieve success together. That idea doesn't fit within this mindset. In other words, there always has to be someone on the losing end for my success to feel meaningful. Of course, in a world that should naturally gravitate towards a state of greater brotherhood, towards more unity, this isn't always going to work. This approach will become unsustainable. Relentless pursuit of success at others' expense will isolate you, as nobody likes exploiters. Opportunities will pass by. People prefer those who uplift and collaborate. The best opportunities will slip through your fingers. Exploiters are avoided. Cooperation is key. Humanity increasingly unites. Selfish success seekers are left behind. Unity is essential. Selfish success leads to being left behind. Opportunities for such mindsets are dwindling. So, someone who only focuses on their own success will struggle. Opportunities for that mindset are dwindling. Today, it's about teamwork. Because the chances for this kind of mindset are diminishing more and more. These days, it's all about teamwork. Today, it's about the concept of inclusive work. The work that unites people. Work that fosters deeper connections. And that's how it should be. That's the direction humanity needs to take. So, you would need to integrate this practice into your everyday life. I don't know, I win an award at work and I have a certain level of satisfaction. If I had won this award and everyone I work with had also received one, would I still feel the same satisfaction? More, I need to consider this. More, should prepare for it. Someone else's success can also bring me joy. I must prepare for reality, finding joy in others' success, not envy. So that someone else's success would genuinely bring me joy, and not feelings of envy, rivalry, or competition. A good success for all. It's about uplifting as many people as we can. If everyone succeeds, humanity thrives. That is true success. We are one. That's the most fulfilling kind of success, because at the end of the day, we're all part of this larger organism. We're like a cell in this larger body, and our health depends on the health of the body. When everyone succeeds, it benefits us all so much more. We need to dismantle the hyper-competitive, exclusive mentality tainting work environments. Outshining, seizing opportunities, or claiming others' chances creates a toxic and unbearable atmosphere over time. Everyone can tell when someone is trying to shine brighter than the rest, seizing an opportunity to get ahead, or trying to snatch your chances and claim them for themselves. And that's an environment that, over time, becomes terrible, unbearable. Nobody can thrive in a state of perpetual competition. There's a story that's been making the rounds on the internet, and honestly, I've never taken the time to verify if it's true or not, but I bet you've come across it, the one about Ubuntu. I've never investigated it, but even if it's a tale, I find it incredibly meaningful. They say there was a group of kids somewhere in the world who were told, hey, the one who runs the fastest will win this box of chocolates. And then, when the race began, the kids joined hands and ran together. There's no joy in victory if others lose. Winning alone isn't joyful. True fun is when everyone succeeds together. Winning together is more fun. It's a blast when we all come out on top. We all share in the rewards that are available. I mean, I don't know if this really exists, but if it does, it's a cutting-edge culture. It's a way of thinking that elevates humanity to a whole new level of awareness. Seeking success is positive and prosperity is beneficial if you're not fixated on stepping on others to stand out or be noticed more than others. If we can achieve prosperity together, fostering brotherhood in our success, it transforms our work relationships. As long as we can achieve prosperity together, fostering a sense of brotherhood in our success. And this transforms our work relationships. It's not the individual, it's the team. It's not just the leader who claims victory on their own. They share the success they achieve with their team. In other words, We, as an expanding community of individuals, are crossing the finish line together, which represents the ideal. Moving forward, let's dive into the topic of mature leadership. Nowadays, more and more people are seeking that as well. When it comes to leadership, there are countless courses available, along with a myriad of techniques for the bold leader, the visionary leader, and so on. Personally, I believe this is the moment for the human leader. I place my faith in humanity. This is the moment for the human leader. Future success is humanistic. I have faith in humanity. I believe that everything that will succeed in the future is heading towards a deeper sense of humanism. And leadership is no exception to that. Therefore, the human leader, the one who considers the well-being of their entire group as a priority, is probably the one who will have a place in the future. People are tired of being used as pawns in someone else's quest for personal success. People are tired of being manipulated for interests that aren't theirs. Tolerance will reach zero naturally. One wins at others' cost, and it's only natural for it to happen that way. Win-lose model existed. Human-centered leadership likely succeeds globally. Human authority is key. In other words, a more human-centered leadership is the one that is likely to thrive in the world. Well, the first aspect of mature leadership is what I refer to as human authority. They say there are 3 kinds of authority in leadership. There are 3 types of authority. Intellectual authority is deep understanding. Moral authority, which is all about collaboration, is incredibly important as well. And human authority involves recognizing that a job well done isn't just about task completion, it's about ensuring that the entire group has grown, matured, seeing it as shared success. Everyone matured, grew, and felt fulfilled. In other words, it's a collective success for the group. Everyone matured, grew, and felt fulfilled through the process. That embodies human authority, and that's truly the one that makes a difference. We live in a world where it's easier to find someone who can explain every detail about the inner workings of an atom than to find someone who truly understands the complexities of a human being. Coexisting can be incredibly challenging. We often find ourselves in a place of misunderstanding. We don't take the time to truly understand one another. A leader who understands their people, creating an environment where everyone can thrive and maximizing each person's potential, is a leader with exceptional wisdom and intelligence. He uplifts that human group, transforming it from an ordinary collective into one with extraordinary qualities. He has the tools to thrive because he knows how to elevate that human group from just an ordinary group to one with extraordinary qualities. If you know how to make the most of everyone's potential, know how to encourage, how to make everyone feel like authors of that work and not just simple doers. That's what we refer to as human authority. Well, you all have probably heard of Plato's allegory of the cave. I'm not going to go into the entire story, but I'll summarize it in a very broad sense. There were several men confined within a cave, staring at a wall where shadows danced. At one point, there's a man who escapes the cave, experiences the reality illuminated by sunlight, and returns to try to free those who remain behind, to guide them into the light. The concept of a man returning to help those trapped in darkness find light is the archetype of a leader. A true leader guides followers into the light. I believe that's the archetype of a leader. A leader consistently seeks to guide their followers toward enlightenment. More awareness, more maturity, and a better understanding of their relationships, along with a clearer grasp of their own potential, because a true and compassionate leader often perceives what a person is capable of even more than they recognize in themselves. So, he helps to uncover potentials the individual didn't realize they possessed. This aspect of Plato's myth about guiding people into the light truly embodies the archetype of a good leader. He helps to reveal potentials that sometimes the individual wasn't even aware they possessed. So, this myth of Plato, particularly the part about guiding people into the light, truly represents the archetype of a good leader. And then I brought along some quotes that I found truly inspiring, all centered around this new style of leadership that prioritizes the human element as essential from some remarkable thinkers throughout history. Take a look at the first one. These first 3 quotes come from Eisenhower. He often stated that the highest quality in leadership is integrity. Without integrity, success isn't achievable. Without integrity, success is simply unattainable. Integrity. In the past, folks believed that being smart meant seizing any opportunity that came their way, regardless of whether it was ethical or not. There have been numerous perspectives on leadership. Here, he emphasizes that integrity is what defines effective leadership. Leadership is a powerful combination of strategy and character. But if you must choose between the two, forgo strategy. Never without character. A leader is one with a strong sense of character. He desires for things to unfold positively, but always within the context of universal values. He stays true to himself, not trading identity for success or ambition. He doesn't sacrifice his true self for outer aims. He's a person of strong and well-nurtured character. That's the essential requirement for a good leader. A leader should have strategy and character, but if you must sacrifice one, always sacrifice strategy, never character. Leadership isn't about titles, positions, or hierarchies. It's about one life impacting another. That's the essence of it. Bring this life a bit closer to the light. Through everything it does. It brings this life a bit closer to the light. The light of awareness, the light of wisdom, the light that offers a clearer perspective on life. And this is referred to as the sacred duty, the sacred office. Because this leader is the one who puts in the most effort and faces more criticism than anyone else. But still, I believe it's a privilege that he's able to make a positive impact. A good leader guides people. Because he's guiding people, not machines. He's guiding human beings. And anyone who leads a machine has to deeply understand the specifications of that machine. Anyone who leads people must have a profound understanding of the human heart to draw it out and do what's best for that community. That's what we call mature leadership. That's what we call mature leadership. Influential leaders make a concerted effort to elevate their team's self-esteem. When people have faith in themselves, it's incredible what they can accomplish. Isn't it fascinating? I accomplished it and so did too. No, it was the team that achieved it. I merely guided the process. He emphasizes that the spotlight should shine on his team, that everyone feels they played a part in what was accomplished, that everyone feels a sense of responsibility. He's typically the type of person who keeps things as low-key as he can. I facilitated this team's journey to this moment, but the recognition belongs to them, just like a conductor and orchestra. Naturally, the credit isn't solely his. Every musician contributed their utmost. The true talent of a leader lies in nurturing exceptional abilities within ordinary individuals. When you believe in someone, you help them recognize their hidden strengths, that they uncover their hidden strengths. Every individual possesses untapped potential. There are abilities within him he hasn't uncovered. As he lacked belief in himself, no one else believed in him. A leader recognizes these potentials, brings it to light recognizing it before the individual does, can bring these potentials to the forefront. He assists this individual in their growth. Strive to become more complete, more fulfilled. A leader is someone who sells hope. We long for someone who motivates us to become the best version of ourselves. That defines true leader. The best leader isn't always the one who accomplishes the most impressive feats. He's the one who empowers people to achieve their greatest accomplishments. In other words, through him and his inspiration, people reach their highest potential, feeling fulfilled and complete, discovering the level of happiness that is meant for each of them. A good leader can do that. At this stage, mature leadership isn't solely focused on those who can analyze market conditions the best. All right, that's a solid approach, but if you don't have it, it's wise to seek advice from a specialist. Oh, it's wise to stay informed about the stock market. That's a good move. If you lack knowledge, it's wise to seek expert help. You can't simply rely on a specialist to teach you how to build strong human relationships with your team. Must understand, the more you know, the better the outcomes will be. Humans are incredible and possess potentials beyond what you can fathom. Mahatma Gandhi has a quote that I find beautiful. I suppose leadership once meant having muscles, but today it means getting along with people. He was reflecting on how, in his time, leadership was often associated with physical strength, but now it focuses on building relationships and connecting with others. He was thinking how things were then. In the past, it was about having physical strength or technique. Today, it's all about building relationships with people. What is a true leader? He was already expressing back in his day. That's even more relevant today. Continuing on, let's shift our focus to healthy goals. What exactly constitutes a healthy goal? Let's envision, in the context of Chinese medicine, what defines health. Health is the balance and harmony of all the forces that influence a human being. A healthy individual has a liver that functions properly without negatively impacting the stomach, which in turn operates well and doesn't disrupt the pancreas. This means that everything is working smoothly and in harmony, with each part respecting the others, allowing the entire organism to achieve its goals in the most effective way possible, without causing harm to anyone in the process. That's part of our internal organic life. In our personal lives, it's really no different. Oh, I really need to see some positive results in these sales and in this venture. Sure, you need professional success, but don't compromise your values. Avoid poor health. If you have a family, care for them to maintain harmony. Iona. You, as someone who is healthy, can't wear yourself out to the point of throwing your physical health off balance. You, who have a family, need to be able to take care of that family in a way that maintains a certain harmony. I'm going to go all in with everything I've got. I'm not going to sacrifice my entire well-being just to achieve success for my stomach. I'm committed to reaching my goals by taking care of my body and being there for my family. I'll put in the effort to achieve our goals effectively. I'll work hard to ensure the best outcomes. And I'm going to put in all the effort to make sure they get there in the best way possible. In everything I handle, in all the environments I engage with, I'm committed to ensuring that the outcomes are the best they can possibly be. Be very careful with those who completely wreck their lives to achieve a goal. By then, you're unable to achieve anything, and you're not in any condition to do much, and it's not worth it because you've compromised your life. What's the point of a positive result in a life that's been completely ruined? Success can demand your values. Who are you then? You might need to compromise values for success. Who are you then? What of your true self? Who are you after that success? What's left of you? Did you compromise your own identity? Healthy goals are organic. They consider everything intrinsic to being human. Embrace humanity by finding material and spiritual harmony. Healthy goals require harmony among all the forces acting on human consciousness and on the group. When it comes to being human, it's key to find balance in material and spiritual aspects of life. I didn't compromise my chances, but held on to my principles and integrity. Everything important to me remained intact. I didn't sacrifice myself for anything else. Everything that's mine made it to the end in one piece, all in harmony. I didn't destroy any part of myself to highlight something else. I want to build muscle and have big biceps, but I refuse to compromise my body in the process, using medications and things that can be really harmful. No. Healthy goals consider global, harmonious success, where everything wins together. I don't underestimate principles and values for the sake of a so-called positive result. This result isn't positive. It costs too much. You can't accept paying the price of your values. It's always too costly. It's not worth it. You've lost touch with who you are. You gave up your identity. In the past, cities often began with a cross and mass marking A. Back in the day, when people arrived in a new place, especially in countries like Brazil, they would plant a cross and hold the first mass. The main church was established at the central point, and the city would grow outward in all directions, never losing sight of its sacred center. A city must thrive economically, socially, and politically, but the sacred values guide everything around it. But the city expanded without losing the center, which was the sacred. Understanding a city must thrive economically, engage socially, and navigate its political landscape. Remember the sacred, representing our values, guides everything surrounding it. Every aspect of the periphery must remain connected to the center, and that's how it is in our lives. Every aspect of our lives must link with this core. Our lives have a core. We possess a core of identity that defines us. Nothing should contradict our core. Everything orbiting this core, embodying goodness, must stay connected to that idea. Contradictions to our essence make the goal unhealthy. There can't be anything that contradicts our essence, or the goal becomes unhealthy. Addictive goals are. And it's one of the most prevalent issues in our society. Addictive goals, unhealthy aspirations. When it comes to a group, what constitutes healthy goals for that group? You don't sacrifice loyalty. You don't sacrifice mutual respect, companionship, or trust. None of these values should be compromised. Oh no, but let me just jump ahead of so-and-so because they're moving too slowly. Let me take care of this, do that. You compromise the well-being of the group in pursuit of a so-called healthy goal. You've lost the trust of the group and yourself and paid a steep price for that. In the eyes of your conscience, you can no longer seem trustworthy. And the cost was too high. Dignity is invaluable. Be careful in group achievements. Use care with that. In group outcomes, harmony and values cherished must be upheld till end. A group reaches full potential. Maintain these principles and you can reach peak potential. And that's how you make a group really reach its full potential. That's when you tap into the heights of your potential. None of us, remember this philosophical phrase, none of us is as good as all of us together. Healthy goals embrace this concept. When we all come together, respecting others, trusting others, and putting forth our best efforts, we can accomplish remarkable things that no one could achieve on their own. About humanity, what is a healthy goal? Our success isn't contingent upon someone else's failure. I am creating a product that serves no purpose. It's simply about fostering dependency in people, getting them hooked on yet another thing that will only cause them harm and lead to addiction. Well, your goal isn't healthy. You broke the unity of yourself, the group, and humanity, which is also a group. My work has to add value to the world, not take away from it. I have to leave here bigger than when I came in. I have to make a difference. I can't be a detriment. I need to be a contributor. Oh, but the financial results were fantastic. Even if they came at a high price, you sacrificed your dignity and your humanity. So everything we do has to consider the commitment we have to humanity. We're here to create an impact, and those are healthy goals. Consider the dignity of ourselves, our group, and humanity. Goals that compromise dignity are too costly. Always uphold our principles and values. Any goal that requires us to sacrifice our dignity in order to achieve it is far too costly. I often share a story that might be more of a legend, but even if it is, I find it incredibly beautiful and fascinating. In the Spanish Inca, the Spanish were engaged in battle with the Incas in pre-Columbian America, and they reached a moment where they were winning. The last of the Incas sought refuge in a region known as Vilcabamba. The final Inca leaders, the Sapa Incas, who were the kings, took refuge in this city and continued to fight, still striving for victory. Then the Spanish sent an ambassador to negotiate a surrender. And this Inca leader won't negotiate surrender or accept it. Before the ambassador departs, he turns to the Inca leader and says, the first time we, the Spanish, engaged in battle with you, our approach to warfare was something entirely different. You'd head out to battle, and we would assault the city, targeting the civilian population, wreaking havoc on the elderly, women, and children. You'd head out to battle, and we would strike at the crops, torch everything, and create famine. In other words, that was something unfamiliar to you all. But after the first, second, third, and fourth times, why didn't you learn from it? Didn't you start to do the same things to us? Why didn't you use the same tactics? Why let yourselves lose? And this Inca supposedly replied, "Come here, let me clarify something for you. We, the Incas, want land to stand tall. Crawling is for you. This story inspires profoundly. To crawl on the earth, I'd rather leave that to you. And this little story, even if it's just a story, is highly inspiring. Anything that requires you to crawl is asking too high a price. In other words, a healthy goal is one you can reach standing tall, with all the dignity of a human being. Anyway, I hope these ideas prove useful to you. Gradually incorporate them into your approach. Who knows, we might inspire other concepts, these very ideas that you can weave into your vision for how you work, navigate your professional life, and aim to achieve success in your career. For sure, if you take these tips into account, you can make significant strides toward what we call healthy, dignified work that's profitable and beneficial, without a doubt. But remember, achieving your goals often requires getting your hands dirty. For sure, if you take these tips into account, you can indeed make great strides towards what we call healthy, dignified work that's also profitable, also advantageous, no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean you can achieve your goals without getting your hands dirty. The future will be so. Everyone will act this way soon. You feel it coming, right? I have no doubt that a time will come when all of humanity will operate in this manner. And you can feel that time approaching, can't you? You forge ahead. The future will be shaped by those who take the initiative and forge ahead. Thank you all, sending a big hug your way.